All right, what's going on, people? Joseph Watkins. I'm here with fellow writer Maria Morales. What's
What's
up,
going
Maria?
on, everybody? Hey, how y'all doing
Okay,
tonight?
so ladies and gentlemen, this one is a 20 plus years of hip hop. Sorry, 20 plus years of hip hop. Take that, bad boy entertainment. Craig Mack, Big, Shine, Faith Evans,
Total,
uh, Total. What's the liquor he was?
Mason Betha.
Oh yeah, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Sean Combs indicted. And we read the indictment, ladies and gentlemen, and this one is not for the faint of heart. We will be diving into what took place, and this one, ladies and gentlemen, this one is not PG-13. Um, I'll give you the first paragraph. Part 1, Episode 1. For decades, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka PD, aka Love, the defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his quote unquote sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. He relied on employees, resources, and influences of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Diddy did it. FBI FBI has raided his home and found the tapes. And synonymously, as he was arrested, there is now a plethora. There is a plethora, ladies and gentlemen, of CEOs stepping down from major companies.
Oof.
I don't know what to
Can,
do with
can we
this.
can we start there though? Can we start there?
Please, let's start
Because
there. Let's get this going.
because as I looked at the list of people that resigned, there were obviously a lot of names that I was not familiar with. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this is about. There, of course, Kevin Lyles. I was not surprised by that. Just,
Ooh.
I wasn't, and I wasn't surprised because I know anything about Kevin Lyles, but more so just the idea that he is someone in the industry, and you know, birds of a feather kind of flock together sometimes. So seeing someone that is known in the industry to have resigned amongst this wasn't too surprising. But when we start going down the list of people that, you can say, oh, somebody, it could be coincidence, whatever, maybe. But there is
Mm.
one name that stuck out to me that I don't think is coincidence and really made my stomach turn when I thought about what could possibly be there. And that was Eric Pryor. Eric Pryor is if you don't know who he is, and you probably don't, especially if you're not into art, he is, well, was currently the president and CEO of the Philadelphia Academy of Fine Arts,
Ooh.
very prestigious organization.
Wait,
And,
wait. I raise you, Kevin, and I give you the president of Rutgers University.
well, hold on, but let me go back to Kevin because
Okay.
because you got to dig a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. You can read the post on Twitter, etc., but you got to know what you're talking about.
Mm.
Eric Pryor resigned from that role, but guess what role he had previously?
Which one?
He was the president of the Harlem School of Arts. Yeah, he is the former president of the Harlem School of Arts, which is a school that I think everybody knows Diddy did donate money to.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea that someone who, was at an institution that dealt with young adults and a lot of times vulnerable young adults resigns when all this stuff comes up with Diddy, that's kind of a flag for me. And I don't know this man. Obviously, I'm going off of the same internet research that everybody else can do. But I just found that to be interesting, that someone that is tied to academia at the secondary school level, not even at the collegiate level, would have connections in this orbit potentially. So now let's get into Jonathan, because what?
Jonathan Holloway. Um, TikTok has been providing a lot of number one hits today. Jonathan Holloway, president, Rutgers president, has resigned. Now, do not know this person. This is definitely one for the history books.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say this right here. What made this man resign? What not only what made this man resign, um, why the what's up? New Jersey University's first black president has resigned. How in the hell, if assuming assuming I don't know, I don't want to
Mm.
just I am a little bit concerned. How is this man? First off, how he get invited? If he did, how was he invited to a Diddy party? If he was
Mm-hmm.
there, how was he there, and in what capacity? I don't even know? Did Puffy speak at Rutgers?
Listen, which is always a possibility because he's spoken at so many colleges and universities across the daggone country.
Mm,
It's very plausible. It is very plausible. And so to me,
oh,
like I think you and I are in the same place because when you have people in academia associated with these types of scandals, instantly the first thing that comes to mind for me is there are access to young, impressionable, and sometimes, underprivileged, at risk individuals because those are
mm,
the easiest people to prey on. And
true.
so,
But just to be clear, audience, we're
right,
not saying they were
we are not.
at the Diddy party. We're just saying we find this pretty interesting
I
that
mean, but
on Diddy's day of reckoning, people are resigning in mass droves.
well, I mean, 748 dildos and 1,000 bottles of lube. That's enough for a whole lot of people that we wouldn't think to be at a Diddy party to be at a
You're
Diddy
right.
party. That's all I'm
Possibly.
saying.
I mean, I'm but here's the question. Here's the thing. Now it was mentioned that before we even dive into the mass resignations, like I said, we're not saying
Mm-hmm.
that they were there. If videotapes prove otherwise, then hey, it is what it is. But what prompted this man to wake up one day and just say to himself, "You know what? I'm recording everything. I'm recording the cameras that you see and the cameras that you don't. I'm recording everything. I'm literally going to be come to my house, and as Denzel Washington says, you got to leave 30 minutes before the devil shows up. The devil shows up. Next thing you know, everything's getting recorded, videotaped, and baby oiled. Why would you do something like this? Just,
I
I
think I
don't
may
get
have
it.
an answer. I do
Okay,
because he could. That's it.
because he
That's it, and
could.
that's all. Because he could. Because when you have a megalomaniac, narcissistic,
Mm,
abusive type person, they crave nothing more than to have power over others. And so when he got to a level where he could literally start to control others,
mm,
like imagine what that must have tasted like for someone like him. That in itself is part of the high, right? So you get to a point where you can just do it because who is going to stop you? And that's it. It's real
it was.
simple. It was all about power. I don't think he ever thought that the videos would he would ever find himself in a position where those videos could be used as evidence against him because he was the puppet master. They were all his. He had all of the control. And those videos were recorded, I'm sure, for his nastiness, but also, which, when we get into the indictment, kind of comes up over and over again, is the idea of being able to intimidate and coerce and force people to do his bidding because of the videotapes. So as soon as he
It's
found that first one that he could be like, yo, I got you on tape, it was a wrap.
you had Bad Boy Entertainment. You launched great acts. You did great. You held down the hip hop industry for almost 20 years. I grew up on it. I grew up on Bad Boy. I grew up on Bad Boy.
I mean, listen,
I,
when you think about Missing You and what that did for the pop appeal of hip hop,
do I still listen to it now? Can I still listen to it? Like some people I
oof.
spoke to, said, I'm not gonna lie. They said this, not me. They said this. They said, and I quote, I still listen to R. Kelly. There's still some
Oof.
people that still listen to R. Kelly. They still step in the name of love. I'm like, okay, can't say no names. I don't want them to get in trouble, but hey, I'm like, yo, how much of Bad Boy Entertainment can I actually listen to now? Because
Okay, I
now it's getting
think
to a point like it's crazy.
no. But see, here's the thing, because there's an asterisk. You
Mm.
can listen. You just skip over the first 5 minutes of him yelling "bad boy" or 5 seconds of him yelling "bad boy," and then on a lot of these songs, we don't hear him again. So then you can
Well,
still listen to him.
but the sun don't shine forever.
Oh,
Better now or never. P
fuck.
Diddy and the fam, who knows to do better? Like,
Oh,
fam, like that was a workout song. Like, yeah, I gotta cut all of that out now.
you
Like,
mean
oh
you
my
mean I
god.
have to start worrying that I don't write rhymes because he didn't write rhymes. He wrote checks. Like
Word.
fuck.
It's all
Yeah, you're
about the
right.
Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
Yeah, but let's look back at the case. It's sad, man. Wait. I just gotta put this out there because Combs's corporate entities included a record labels, a recording studio, an apparel line, Sean John, an alcoholic
Mm-hmm.
spirits brand, a marketing agency, and a television network and media company. We all know that as Revolt.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. FBI confiscated everything. And they confiscated everything. There's even a video of Puffy walking into a hotel. Feds was like, all right, you come coming with us. This man, like, to to describe how when you read it, it's unbelievable. You don't know. You're really thinking like, yo, this is made up. But then you saw
Mm-hmm.
the video with Cassie. We're not gonna talk
Yeah.
too much about Cassie because the video explained everything. Like the video explained everything, and as a result, all hell broke loose.
Mm-hmm.
Household staff, security staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisors, they were all either bribed, coerced, or threatened not to report anything or say anything within the indictments. And what made it even more crazy was that he was flying people out. Diddy was flying people out to these parties
I mean, I
that
want to
had
get
Diddy
flown out
there.
somewhere, but not like that. Not like that, man. I want to get flown out to eat tacos or something. Not flown out to have to be doing lubed up freak offs. Like no, that's not the type of
No,
flying out I
that's
want.
fam. This wild. Like I like. No, not for me. Not for
Mm-mm.
me. I'm curious though. I'm curious. Like I'm curious as to who are going to be the star players on his thousands upon thousands of videotapes, because it's the last half of 2024. Cat Williams said it was a day of reckoning.
Oof.
Cat Williams, the prophet. We're gonna call him the prophet now. He's the prophet. The prophet has spoken and basically said it is a day of reckoning. And
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna see, it is a possible, like, Diddy's on suicide watch right now. Diddy's on suicide watch. Basically, what's going to take place is that homeboy, like, he knows a lot, does a lot, and if those videotapes drop, and one will eventually, welcome to America, welcome to the world, one's going to
Mm-hmm.
leak.
Yep.
TMZ probably got $1 million. I'm assuming,
They are
not
chomping at
this
the
ain't facts.
bits.
TMZ right now has $1 million bounty probably
Mm-hmm.
for what's about to happen, for a glimpse of looking at these tapes.
Yep.
because this right here is going to turn into the biggest, wildest case of the world. And there was actually a lawyer. There was a lawyer on Twitter. A lawyer on Twitter. I'm gonna try to find it. You can look at the link on RGN99.com. The lawyer
Take that.
said,
Take that.
"Word." The lawyer said, and I quote, that the person who got 30 million was writing a book. He told the lawyers, this is what the lawyer said. I'm not checking for validity. I'm just going by the internet. The lawyer said the person was writing a tell-all book. It's going to cost you 30 million to silence it. Diddy's lawyers was like, nah, write the book. Then a civil suit was hit, and following the threat of the book, and they was like, we're going to get you. And the lawyers were like, bring it on. And then next thing you know, it was made public that
Oh shit.
$30 million was given from Cassie. Sorry, $30 million from Puffy to Cassie for, I believe this might have been the rights to the tell-all book. This is on Twitter.
Oh
You can look for it. You're going to
shit.
find the lawyer. And basically what was said was, basically this was the key pivotal point that started the chain reaction, where it was said, well, if they got 30 million,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to get paid. And the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the civil suits followed suit. One person actually, he's locked up, forget his name. Currently right now, I forget his name, but he won $1 million award, $100 million award from Puffy. And Puffy had to put Peel shutdown on it, claiming that he never got the notice. He only found out through social media. He got the notice. He never got the notice, which is interesting because I feel like
Okay.
that's a move that somebody else would have played,
Mm-hmm.
who is of higher authority, who uses the court system to block everything
Mm-hmm.
and more blocking. Um,
Mm.
so right now, Diddy is out what apparently looks like $130 million, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few zeros added on by everybody else. So now everyone who is on the tape,
I'll say there's
everybody who is in,
9. I think there's 9 active lawsuits at this point.
yes, there
Active.
is, and
Yeah.
and then there's a few against the children.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few against the children.
Against the Sons. Yep.
I don't think this is not going to end well for this man or them,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and he's not getting bailed out. There will be no trips to possibly Bali for this man.
But see,
He's
but I think that that's the whole thing with this whole suicide watch. A narcissist like him has no intention of killing himself. But what he
really.
does know, no, I legitimately believe that he is a full-on narcissist. And as such, he loves himself too much to harm himself, but
Mm.
his lawyers are not dumb. If you're on suicide watch, if you go in there and you say, oh, you want to kill yourself, and they put you on suicide watch, this is such a big case, and the government wants this so much that they'll let you out on bail because they don't want you to kill yourself. I think
Or
it was a calculated gamble, and it did not work out in their favor because that judge said, I don't give a damn about his suicide watch. He's staying in there. So
I'm a I hear you,
okay.
but here's the question.
All right.
Actually, I need to be very mindful because I gotta be mindful on this one. I gotta be mindful on this one. I gotta be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's getting bailed out. I don't think he's getting bailed out anytime soon.
Mm-mm.
Not with so much going on.
Mm-mm.
With so much going on right now, I don't think he's getting bailed out. But I am sorry. He's not gonna get bailed out, but I am gonna say this. I am gonna say this. If he is a true narcissist, he'll ride this all the way to the end. Might pull a Nino Brown. Might, I'm taking everybody with me. I'm taking everybody with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh, FYI, the guy's name is Derek Lee Cardello Smith, he claimed that Diddy drugged and SA'd him at a 1997 Detroit party.
Oh no.
And the only reason why Diddy doesn't have to pay It's because he failed to prove he effectively served the lawsuit in accordance with Michigan law. In other words, Diddy wasn't properly
Mm,
served. So now that's crazy. So he doesn't got to pay because he wasn't properly
wow.
served. However, now that he's properly served, I think he's going to have to pay. Like,
Oh,
he can't
for
avoid it.
sure. For sure. I mean, but the problem, I think, for a lot of these folks that are filing these lawsuits is y'all better hope something's left after the government is done with him on these RICO charges, because
They're,
they come in for
they
everything. They come in for
he sold
everything.
he sold Revolt. He sold Revolt. He sold the Spirits, or his partnership was dissolved with the Spirits. So
Hmm.
that's probably like really his true bread and butter. He he gave rights back to Bad Boy artists. He gave them their
Hmm.
rights back, so he doesn't own anything there, which kind of ties in. I think he knew this was probably coming, which is why he started to liquidate his position in almost everything.
Yeah, but and I hear you, but let me add put a little spice on it. If you
Okay.
read the way that they wrote the language on that last part when they're talking about um, uh, the substitute asset provisions and how they're entitled to the property, they said any and all
Yeah,
property,
the
real
forfeiture.
or yeah, the forfeiture part, real or personal, constituted or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said offenses, and any and all property, real or personal, that was used or intended to be used to commit or facilitate the commission of said offenses. Dog, that's his brands, because they already made the case on the front of it that all of the businesses that he was involved in were part of this criminal enterprise. So
Yeah, he
I think you're right. He sold everything off because he knew something was coming. But what he doesn't understand is that selling it off doesn't clean that money. So if he gets convicted, whatever the hell is there from the profits of the sale of Revolt and the dissolution of Ciroc and all of that, the
he
Ciroc
already gave it
partnership,
up. He already passed them out. The money gone.
shit, he already, oh,
He paid. I feel as though
they,
he took the proceeds to pay off the people. He was like, "Yo, here you go. This is this. This is that. This is
mm,
this. This is that." Like 30 million. Like this was cat. Like
damn.
I don't
See,
remember.
and I'm sitting here thinking he was trying to put, like, get his little nest egg together for the fight, but you might be right.
No,
I didn't think about that.
no. His lawyers are gonna probably cost almost 30 million, but
Mm-hmm.
they got the tape, they got the evidence, everything's popping in. But what's crazy now is that Revolt sold, Spirits is sold. What is the name of his Spirits brand? It just what was the name of
Are you
it?
talking about Ciroc? Not because the
That's it.
company
That's it.
wasn't
That's it. That's
Ciroc.
it.
Or are you talking
No,
about
no.
Ciroc, right?
He had a stake in the company for Ciroc, and
Right.
then the company was like, "Yo, he's too aggressive. Yo, here you go. We gotta sell us off. They gotta kick him out. Let's buy him out." They did that. So Ciroc, um, Revolt sold.
Mm-hmm.
If sorry, if that was the 30, if that was the 30 million, you know what I'm saying? That was the payoff amount. He doesn't have much left. They said that he had multiple mortgages on his homes. Like he had multiple mortgages on his home. So if anything, he might
Mm.
be really be in debt. Like he still got it. He's still on
Oh,
the
shit.
hook for those mortgages as well. Like homeboy wowed out to the point where it was just amassing on him. And
Insanity.
yeah, man, this I can't get over the fact that the sun don't shine forever. I guess what I really think a lot of his raps now, he was literally saying, like, I think that was the now I might have to listen to everything because he was saying,
He
like,
was on
bro,
borrowed time.
yeah. But here's what Twitter's talking about right now. Aside from Diddy, they're saying that the Carters are next. They keep saying the Carters are next.
Whew.
There's nothing there. I don't think there's anything there. I personally believe there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It's
So you think that Jaguar, all the stuff that Jaguar, right, has put out there and been putting out there consistently, because she's she's like Cat when it comes to this Puffy stuff, because she's been saying for a minute that Puffy was not right, and she made some serious allegations about his involvement in Kim Porter's death, et cetera, et cetera. So she's been kind of on this
Hunt.
on this hunt for a minute, and the Carters have consistently come up out of her mouth. And knowing that how closely she worked with Jay-Z for all those years that she did, I don't know. Like, where there's smoke, there might be a little bit of fire. Because I think that there's definitely some smoke there. I don't think it's Puffy level smoke. Like, I don't think that. But
I hope not. I hope not.
I'll
I
be
like
devastated.
Beyonce. I like some Beyonce songs.
Listen, I'm a Jay-Z stan. All right,
Word,
like, please do not take that from me.
I don't. If Jay-Z is gone as well as Puffy, my whole teenage years is eliminated. There's nothing I can listen to anymore.
Well, hold on. You still have the 2024 national treasure that is Snoop. Snoop's clean. We ain't heard nothing about Snoop.
Nah, ever since that Murder Was the Case, he good. He not
He
doing
good.
none of that. He like, bro, I've been in the crosshairs. I want no part of it. Respect the Snoop, respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I love it because now he's living his best life, and he has paid his dues.
Yep. He's a national treasure. He is going to be
treasure.
He's going to be our generation's Betty White. You watch.
I'll give you that. I will give
Snoop,
you that.
Snoop is going to be our Betty White.
I will give you that, and I will raise you. He is the Godfather. Rest in peace to the real Godfather. He is the Godfather of the hip hop generation.
Absolutely.
Because I was there day one when he was on the stoop getting his hair braided, doing gin and juice.
Yep.
Now, the crossroads. I mean, we kind of touched on it, but Dave Chappelle said something in an interview, and he was saying how his father said to him, give yourself a number, and when you reach that number, that's it. And they were telling him, and I remember Dave was saying how they were willing to give him a larger amount of money to do the Chappelle show. And he was like, I'm good, and I'm out. And at first like, it's now a full circle moment at this point. At first, now we look at it, we're like, why would you, $1 million an episode, you know what I'm saying, $1 million an episode, $2 million an episode. But Chappelle was like, nah, I'm good. And he just left. Now I'm starting to really understand why he did what he did. Because it almost looks as though he realized it was about to turn into this situation right now where you just feel all entitled, encumbered, powerful, and no one can touch you. And he went, and I guess he was in tune with his spirit and was like, yo, I'm out. And I think, that decision and that wisdom that he got from his dad saved him from turning into this.
Absolutely.
Would have been great to see another season of Chappelle Show, but
I could have. I literally shed real tears when the announcement came out that he was out, but I respected it because, at the end of the day, and it's funny because my son said this to me a couple of years ago. We were having a random conversation about millionaires, and he looked at me and he said, Mom, there is no way that someone can become a millionaire that is close to being a billionaire ethically. There's no way. You cannot absorb and amass that amount of wealth being 100% ethical. So at the end of the day, from the mouth of babes, I'm telling you. So at the end of the day, when we look at the names that we are talking about in this conversation right now, and the pinnacles of success that they have reached, not just in hip hop, but in business, right? There is no way that they got there ethically. They have done something. What the something is, I don't know, and I am not accusing anybody of anything in particular, but business is shrewd, and you don't get to those levels without doing some shady shit. And Dave saw it, so kudos to Dave. But you don't get there without doing some shady shit. And, when you look at the tandem that we're talking about, specifically Puff and the influence that he had, especially in the early 2000s, right? When Bad Boy was just at the top of the universe.
Bad Boy this, Bad Boy that. Oh, we make his Bad Boy hits and Bad Boy
Right,
tracks.
exactly. Between him and Jay, with Rockefeller at that time, they were literally the gatekeepers of hip hop on the East Coast. Think about how many acts we know today simply because one of those two men put their stamp of approval on them.
This is true.
I'm just saying.
I really
that's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. I hope they don't find nothing
on Jay-Z. Like, he got me through a lot. He got me through a lot.
Man, he got me through a couple of divorces, undergrad, job changes. He got me through a whole lot. But comes back to the thing that you mentioned real early in our conversation, which is, where do you separate the artist, right, from the music? It's the reason that fun fact, I was never a huge R. Kelly fan, so it was super easy for me to stop listening to him. I have to still understand and respect those people that choose to, because for them, they are choosing to separate the artist from the music. But I just feel like the more heinous the things get, the harder that is to do.
Yeah, that's like almost, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, if Jeffrey Dahmer had a platinum album and he did what he did, would you still listen to the album? No, I'm not gonna listen to Jeffrey Dahmer album no matter what. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it like, actually, you know what? Let's just, like, I'm gonna keep it G. I'm gonna keep it 100. People who listen to R. Kelly, people who listen to songs featuring Puff Daddy or Puff Daddy songs that you grew up on, it is going to be very hard to separate. Like, for those who still continue to listen despite everything that took place, I'm not going to pass judgment. I'm not. Mm-hmm. But it really is. It should be a no-brainer, but there are people that still listen to this music.
Yep.
And will still continue to bump this music no matter what. Behind closed doors, whatever they do, they do. But it is, public places. I haven't heard Step in the Name. I've stopped. I don't listen to R. Kelly.
Right.
I still hear Puffy in some songs, but I'm like, yo, bro, I gotta change the channel, man. Like, I got daughters. Right. Like, I'm not.
Right.
But I will have to say, like, we're going to lose probably about 40 years of hip hop collectively if Jay-Z's indicted on some things as well. Like, we already got Puffy. Puffy's done. It's over. They got videotape. There's evidence. And I'm gonna do a side, because we need to run a list of the Happy Fun candy that he had. The candy that he had at these parties. Is everybody ready? Are we ready?
He had the alphabet candy. Go for it, because there was a lot of letters in them drugs.
All right. So first up was cocaine, oxycodone, Xanax, MDMA. I don't even know this one. It's called 2C-B. 4-bromo-2,5-dimethylphenylalanine. I thought it would have been a vitamin, but it's called 2CB, and it is a psychedelic drug that produces visual hallucinations and also perceptions.
Shit.
Yeah. GHB, essential nervous system depressants.
He's out here doing CIA fucking experiments on people. The hell?
EIEIO. And ketamine. basically everyone thought they were in Willy Wonka's paradise. I think a couple of people thought they were Oompa Loompas, probably. They said what's up to the candy man, and they was like, hey, what's going on?
That is
Yeah.
wild.
This is in the indictment, ladies and gentlemen. This is in the indictment. Can't makes up. And he was flying them out for some candy and some happy, happy fun time. But you know what? You know what? I do got a question. Did J Lo see none of this?
Ooh, ooh,
Did
ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm like, look, listen. Sean was on IG. Sean was on IG. Was like, yo, this man ruined my life. He started.
Right,
These are my confessions. He
right.
started. He was like, yo. But I'm curious as to what J Lo has to say about this. J Lo was with Puffy for a minute. There's a video. There's actually a video of a bed. J Lo, Puffy, Aaliyah, and I think some random that I can't remember right now. And there's another video of his basketball court with queen size beds, like to the right of the courts in the court NBA locker room court thing. I don't know, but I am a tad bit curious as to how in the world did J Lo not see any of this happen? Is this the reason why Ben Affleck is a little mad? Because she's like, you're in the tapes, and he's probably was like, oh God, she's in the tapes. I don't know.
Listen, all I'm going to say is this. After reading the entire 14 pages of the indictment and seeing over and over and over again the language of kidnapping, manipulation, entrapment that Puffy had going
No.
on, nobody escaped. Nobody escaped, which means if you got out, you might have been maybe not okay, but okay enough with what was
Yeah.
going on. You get
The
what I'm
kidnap.
saying?
No, I got you. See,
He was out here
and then
kidnapping motherfuckers. And J-Lo got away scot-free. That white woman was part of that. She's part of it. She's part of it. In some way, shape, or form.
I just caught that. I just caught that.
Oh.
I just caught that. I just
how I
caught
feel
that.
about that one. Listen, when she said a ham and
Oh
cheese
man.
and orange drink with the Puerto Rican delegation, we went ahead and just kicked her out. You know what she is. Anyway, but no, I don't think that you walk away as cleanly as she did. Because you got to think about it. Everybody knew J-Lo before she was with Puff, right? She had done the little Money Train movie and blah, blah, blah. But in tandem with doing Selena and then being in this super high profile relationship with Puff, she then catapulted off of that. Her career became significantly more active. She made a hell of a lot more money, and she really became a household name after her relationship with Diddy. All I'm saying is sometimes when you make a deal with the devil, it looks real good for a minute until it comes time to pay with your soul. So,
Woo.
I don't know. Yo no sé, papi, but I'm telling you, yeah, she walked away because her hands aren't clean. Which is my opinion, y'all. While we're on video, this is my opinion. I do not have any facts or anything else to back up what I am saying. It just feels like good old-fashioned common sense.
I don't. If he's still, if everything goes well, the courts are gonna have a field day. Instagram is going to be lit up for the next 2 to 3 months, and literally, it's just going to be a show of epic proportions.
Yep.
It's literally going to be something wild and crazy, and I'm just curious as to like this one is for first off, actually let me so there are two prophets that we talked about Cat Williams, and we also might have to get I'm actually curious. So Uncle Murder, if anyone's in the hip hop community has heard, one of 50 Cent's artists, Uncle Murder, is known famously for his end of the year wrap ups.
Hmm.
It is pretty obvious that he is going to literally need an entire subpart album to literally describe this situation in
We're gonna need an
2024.
EP, a full ass EP
Like
off of
he's going to
this
have
one.
to make a he's going to have to make a 12 track album as to what's
Hmm.
going on with this. Because man, this one I don't know. Hip hop is never going to be the same after this.
But here's the thing, and some may think this a little bit heavy-handed, but I don't think it is.
Mm.
Hip hop has been beautiful for 50 years, right?
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is there has always been an underlying ugliness within hip hop because
Mm.
of the level of misogyny that became prevalent. I'd say in the mid 90s, right? Like there was always a little misogyny, but like the earlier days of hip hop, at least on the songs themselves, were not as misogynistic. Like that went on later. But misogyny has always been there. Women
Yes.
have always been treated as less than, as artists, as contributors to the culture. There has always been this there, and there needed to be a reckoning. And I think that that's what's about to happen because of the number of individuals that unfortunately are going to get ratted out. Because I promise you, if Puffy can sing to reduce them charges, he gonna sing like a canary. And if
He's
he
already
don't,
fa-
all of
homies.
those, right,
He
all those people that work with him, because the indictment clearly says it was his entire staff. And
yeah,
some of them were complacent. Some of them were not being, coerced, et cetera, et cetera. So
it
when
would
this
be.
full reckoning happens and all these names come out that we know are going to come out,
Mm.
the reality is it is going to be a very sad day for hip hop, and there's going to be a reckoning that hip hop is going to have to finally atone for what has happened to women and marginalized peoples within the hip hop community for all of these years. So when it's all said and done, I hope the main thing that comes out of this is that when a victim says that something has happened, believe them.
Yeah.
Because multiple times in this indictment, they reference victim number one. And it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out who they're talking about when they say victim number one. And
Of
when
course.
victim number one first came forward with that lawsuit, social media, there were a whole lot of folks that before he settled the next day, a whole lot of folks calling her a whole lot of different types of names,
Thinking that it was going to scare her off, and all they did was
thinking that it was going to, right, thinking it was going
all
to
it,
scare her off and trying to dismiss her claims. And then that video came out.
and that's
And
when
those
everything
same
made
people
sense.
went quiet. Right. You see what I mean? Like there were a
Exactly.
couple who said I was wrong, my bad, blah, blah, blah. But most of them didn't say anything. And anybody that could sit there and watch that video and not feel something is a monster.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have had to taken for us to see the video to believe that something happened. So, it is going to be really sad because I do believe that this house of cards is going to come tumbling down
Oh,
quickly.
it's he might have to pull a Frank Lucas. He's
Yeah.
gonna pull a Frank Lucas, and he's just
Yeah.
gonna be like, "All right, he did it, boom, 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 boom." And
Yep.
if I just hope no presidents was there. I
Ugh.
hope no president showed up at that
Him
house.
and Bill, were tight. Him and Bill
Oh
were tight.
man, oh man,
Bill like
can you
hanging out with
imagine?
all the bad guys. That's all I'm saying. Mm.
Word.
But
All
let
right.
me ask you real quick. Did you
Mm,
look at the time associated with the 3 counts? Because here's the funny thing. Like, I thought that the RICO count was going to be the worst here because we know how the government likes to get down with RICO. But
mm.
count 1 and count 3, they only carry 5 to 20, which, to your point, can be
The
negotiated down.
racketeering, the
Yep.
racketeering carries life.
No, you know what carries
Wait,
life? The sex trafficking. The sex trafficking is
no,
15 to 20.
wait. I'm think. Wait. I'm just doing a double
Unless
check.
I
Just
got
doing a
the
double check.
double check it.
Wait,
Double check it because
because
I
I'm
might have
sure
mixed them up. Because it's
because I
five.
think the
I say
yeah,
because two
Rico,
of
he got
them. So
the
they're saying that the
racketeering.
Rico is the one that carries life, and the other two are 5 to 20.
Hold
Because I
on,
know
wait,
because it's
wait, we're looking it up right now. We're looking at it right. We're looking
mm-hmm.
it up.
Because while you're looking that up for our viewers, the point that I'm trying to make is that that's a lot of damn time, and he can negotiate, but I don't think he's going to be able to
You
get
can't
like
negotiate.
he can't negotiate all of it. He's going to have to do some of that
Nah,
time, just like Frank did, because
hold on.
Frank still had to do some of that time.
And then yeah, hold on. Here we go. Wait. Pulling it up right now. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Uh, hold on. Checking.
Because y'all, the stuff we can check, we will. The stuff we can't
Yeah,
check,
like we got to check this one out. I'm double
yeah, the
checking. I'm
stuff we
double
can't check, we
checking.
can't check.
Hold up. Where is Instagram when you need it? Here it goes. Here it goes. How long can Diddy stay in prison? Possible sentences. Here we go. Let's see. Uh, all right. They're saying that it could be. Let's see.
A
All
lot.
right. An attorney who has been practicing law in New York City for the last 3 decades believes that Diddy's case is likely to move quickly through the court system because of the seriousness of the charge. Given the severity of the charges, a lengthy jail sentence is a virtual certainty if he is convicted. A sentence of 10 to 20 years, if convicted, is likely. So we're looking at 10 to 20 and a possible maybe life. But right now right now it's a spades game, so he's looking at 10 to 20 definite. And he's going to have to what he's going to probably have to do is he's going to have to probably if there are fish bigger than him, and he has
Yep.
the evidence, then it is a possibility 10 to 20 might turn into the maybe if he gets maybe top dog law, he might get like maybe 5-10.
Right.
But
He gonna sit down
but
something.
yeah, he got to go. He's going to go.
Yeah.
For how
Well,
long?
but
10 to
here's
20.
the thing. He's got to hope that he's got somebody bigger than him that he can throw under the bus, which I think he does. Like the people who were hobnobbing at his parties, I think he does. But the other thing he's got to hope for is that don't no bodies pop up. I mean, literal bodies, because the whispers and the chit chatter around, some unalivings that he may have had his hand in has been there for a very
Got
long
you.
time. If any proof of him
Oh,
actually being involved with somebody unaliving, he's done. Like he's done in that he's never going to see the light of day again. Like he will not get around that. So as long as that doesn't happen and he's got a big fish, I could see him getting that reduced some. I just don't
got
see it being less than a decade, but
no. If there's somebody in the camp who's like, yo, if there's somebody in the camp that's like, yo, he did this. If he did anything unaliving, the hip hop, the hip hop game is destroyed. We've lost 20 plus years of great music hip hop. Like no one's man, that'll be.
I
I
hope
mean,
that at least we don't lose all of it. Like
yeah,
wherever those skeletons are. I mean, obviously, if he was involved with somebody's unaliving, that person deserves justice and he
word.
should have to deal with it. But if he was not, then let's hope that at least that's not another thing to add to this nightmare of a situation.
Got you. All right. Maria, audience, those who viewed, these are just our thoughts.
Absolutely, just our thoughts.
Got just our thoughts. We just decided to put them out there in the open because chances are some of us or some of you have a lot of questions. And honestly
Mm-hmm.
speaking, this one is for the history books and for the hip hop history books. Like you're never going to avoid this one. But I am going to say this: SA, sexual assault, is not in any way a flex in any community whatsoever. Um, I'm a firm believer. See something, say something.
Yep.
Report, whistle blow. If you see someone in a predicament such as this, report it right away. You could be saving a life, both physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maria, any final thoughts?
Just like I said, man, if somebody is telling you they're a victim, believe them until you can't, because how many of these people could have not gone through what they went through if they had individuals around them, like Joseph said, that said something, but also when they did try to seek help, that people actually believe,
Yeah,
and we're not easily bought off, because you read through the indictment and there's so much talk of bribery, and that means that there were so many people that were willing to sell their souls and just
to
not
keep
care
these
about
people
another human
quiet.
being, yeah, for money,
Yeah,
and that's the thing, like, you can't get to certain levels without doing unethical shit. And
that's sad.
hopefully hopefully a lot of us don't want to do unethical shit, because at the end of the day it's just money. It comes and goes, but ruining somebody's life, that could be forever.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you for listening. This is RGN 99. Peace.
Bye everybody. And